retired hurt a short while ago as well for one. He's up there for 11 balls, hitting the helmet by Mohamed Hasnain, and then forced to retire by the same bowler. So we've got Josh Cobb on strike for the leg spin of Yasir Shah. Shah comes in. This one full and driven down towards long off, wide of long off in fact. They're looking for two, and they're going to get there. Good running, good intent from Josh Cobb. Immediately called two when he hit that wide of the long off fielder. Had a bit of work to do towards his right. Mohamed Hasnain out of the boundary. Yasir Shah in once again to Cobb, who defends this into the offside, wide of the point fielder, and they run through for a single. Shy at the stumps, but they were home. More good running there from Josh Cobb. Yasir Shah, the leg spinner, with a point or two to prove. Again, one of these Pakistani bowlers who's been fairly inconsistent, particularly in white ball cricket over the last 18 months or so. Comes in to Thurston this time, who drives straight to short extra cover, no run. He's been in and out of the one-day setup, Yasir Shah. Here with a chance to stake a claim for a World Cup place. Now again to Thurston. This one's shorter and played a miss. Just beaten with the turn outside his off stump there was Thurston. Looking to defend that one straight back down the ground. Ended up beating his outside edge. Good bit of bowling there from Yasir Shah. Shah into Thurston again. This one slightly fuller and driven backward of point. They jog through for a single. 64 for two now. Northants. And Thurston finally off the mark. Cobb back on strike. Shah comes in. This one just defended straight to the short extra cover, and that is the end of a good first over from Yasir Shah. End of the 17th over. Northants 64 for two. Josh Cobb 32 not out now. Thurston off the mark in that over as well, and beaten on one. Certainly will help the over rate now with the two spinners operating from either end. Imad Wasim set to continue from the far end. The long on comes in to the circle, long off still out, deep cover out as Wasim comes in to Thurston, who shimmies down the wicket, just defends it straight to short extra cover for no run. Now the long on is going back out towards the boundary. Imad in to Thurston again, who drives this straight back to him, fielded by the bowler, no run. One full and wide and driven out towards the deep cover boundary, but the sweeper's going to cut that one off. Thurston jogs through for another single, moves on to two. Northants 65 for two in the 18th over. Cobb back on strike. Here comes Wasim, full and driven out towards long off. Runs round to his left to field that. A good knock here from Josh Cobb, who moves on to 33.
Yeah, an important one.
Into Thurston, who shimmies down the wicket and skies this down towards Cow Corner. Has it got enough to carry all the way? No, just one bounce into the boundary rope and 4 runs almost going underneath the covers there on the far side of the ground.
Imad had a long look at Thurston there as he just jogged past him. I'm sure had a little friendly word in his ear as well. That's a good strike. Picked it up really well.
He showed a bit of intent here. He shimmied down the wicket a couple of times in this over. Interestingly, the long on fielder has come inside the circle now, despite that shot. This one Fuller and dug out into the offside by Thurston. That is the end of the 18th over. Northants now 70 for 2. Thurston on to 6 after that boundary. Josh Cobb 33 not out. Wasim certainly not happy about that bit of intent, that shot over cow corner from Thurston. Good strike.
Yeah, won a few shots in anger today already. Hasn't been too much, I suppose, for the Northants members to get excited about so far. It's been steady accumulation against what's been a very good attack so far.
Yasir Shah to continue to Josh Cobb, short and punched off the back foot down the ground towards long off, past a diving extra cover fielder, jolt through for another single.
I love watching Yasir bowl. He's got such energy when he approaches the crease. Only a small man, but he comes off in quite a long run for a spinner.
He comes to Thurston, this one full and driven out towards deep cover. They're looking for 2, and they're going to get there. Good running once again from this Northants pair. It's wide of the cover fielder, who had a bit of work to do towards his left. There's 2 more to Thurston, who moves on to 8.
Comes and gives it a real rip. Didn't play against England last summer. Had a thumb injury, I think it was.
He comes to Thurston, this one flicked off his pads down towards the sweeper on the leg side for a single. I was saying earlier, he's been one of the Pakistanis who's been in and out of the one-day setup. Point or 2 to prove ahead of the World Cup. Not a guaranteed member of the starting side these days, in white ball cricket certainly. Here comes now Shah to Josh Cobb, who just defends this towards point, no run. More words of encouragement from behind the stumps from the ever energetic Sarfraz Khan, Sarfraz Ahmed even. This time shorter from Shah and pulled over mid-wicket. That's a big 6 from Cobb, out of the ground, into the houses there, into somebody's back garden. There's something to get the fans excited about here. Round of applause there from Josh Cobb. He was early onto that short ball, just dragged down by Yasir Shah, and Cobb rocking onto the back foot and slapping it over deep mid-wicket for 6 runs. I think they've lost the ball.
Yeah, as you say, it's into someone's back garden away to our right-hand side. Big houses on the Wantage Road away to our right, big gardens as well. They learned a long time ago not to have a greenhouse at the back of the garden, because that would have been in danger there. Great strike from Cobb, only slightly short, but he was back into position really quickly and struck it very well indeed. So Cobb gluing this innings together so far.
That takes the score on to 80 for 2. Cobb on to 40 as the box of balls is brought out onto the field. Mohammad Amir, opening bowler, having his say as to which ball they go with as a replacement. The leader of the seam attack, big say on which ball is chosen at the start of the match, and this time I'm here choosing the replacement with the umpires as well. So Cobb and Thurston looking a lot more comfortable against the spinners. Imad Wasim bowled a good first couple of overs. Lots of intent shown in the previous over by Thurston against him, and Josh Cobb 6 off Yasir Shah. Shah in once again to Cobb, and this time onto his pads and just flicked towards the mid-wicket sweeper for a single. And that's the end of the 20th over there. 19th over, in fact.
Yes.
19 overs gone.
That scoreboard over there is new for this season. Well, it wasn't there at all at the start of the campaign. There was a temporary ball up there, but it has caught us out on occasions.
It has. They were too quick for us this time.
It jumps around. Sometimes it's quick, sometimes it's slow, sometimes it disappears altogether. At least there is a board there, but still the little scoreboard away to our left-hand side is ticking over in traditional order, and there's no way that's going to disappear.
Liable as ever. So changing bowling from the far end, Haris Sohail into the attack. He's still got his woolly hat on. Looks as though he's going to bowl with it on as well.
That shouldn't be allowed, really, should it? It may be a practice match, but Northants came out at Derby season before last at the start of the year, really cold. It was fielding 4 of them in bobble hats. I think Peter Siddle bowled for Essex in a bobble hat last year
I
too.
remember that, yeah. Sohail, the left arm spinner, down the leg side to Josh Cobb, immediately signalled wide. Clearly finding it very cold out there, Haris Sohail. Didn't release that one very well at all. Way down the leg side. Another extra onto the total, 82 for 2, Northants in the 20th over. Slide into Cobb once again, and this one just dabbed down into the leg side. No run, straight to the mid-wicket fielder. This one fuller from Sohail, almost played straight back into his hands by Cobb there. Uppishly pushed back towards the bowler, bouncing a yard or two in front of him. And into Cobb again, he just defends this straight back to him, no run. And this is where the over rate does pick up with the spinners in action.
Yeah, we could do with 30 overs of Imad and Yazir and others.
Just defends this one backward of point, no run. On to 41, Thurston 9, that's 82 for 2. This comes in, a little shimmy down the wickets, and didn't know too much about that one, Josh Cobb. Eventually off his pad down towards fine third man. They jog through for a single. Was there an inside edge on that? An outside edge, in fact.
Yeah, runs given, so
yeah.
A little tickle of something that almost walked past it.
It's into Thurston, who sweeps this one past the short fine leg fielder, and it's going to trickle along to the boundary for 4 runs. It's a poor line there from Haris Sohail to finish off the over. Onto it quickly was Thurston. He moves on to 13, and that's 20 overs gone. Northants 87 for 2.
On a very sleepy day, you have to say, here in Northampton. The whir of a helicopter, but otherwise very still around Wantage Road today as the sunshine reappears, which is nice to see. And the Pakistanis will be particularly pleased to see some sunshine. Yazir isn't feeling the cold down beneath us, hasn't got any headgear on as he's about to bowl. Short sleeve shirt as well, no underlayer for him either. 87 for 2 after 20 overs then. And Yazir to continue from the Wantage Road end of the ground. Comes in right arm over to Cobb, the right-hander, who's forward. Thick outside edge here, runs just fine of short third man. And they charge through for a single, so Cobb goes to 43. And Northants 88 for 2 in the 21st over here. Long off, long on, deep square and deep cover the men out as Yazir bowls to Thurston. He goes back to cut and times it well, but only as far as the fielder. A couple of yards in from the discs, away to our left-hand side. 13 here, Charlie Thurston. First appearance of the summer for he. Waits for Yazir and moves in again. With good purpose, someone spins away from his outside edge off a good length. He was just looking to read the turn and steer it down out on the offside, but the ball fizzed past him. Nice delivery from Yazir. Getting him on to grip and go through. You would expect maybe a bit of grip off the services in this third match as Yazir bowls again. This is square driven by Thurston and as far as point again. And there is no run. 88 for 2, Northants. Balls from down to our right hand side as Yazir moves in again past the stumps, and this is chopped away, this time past point, and goes all the way for 4. Excellent piece of timing from Charlie Thurston, who played a really well-timed slog sweep early in his innings, and here slashes a cut stroke past the diver point, past the diver, the cover sweeper as well, and away to the fence by the covered stand, away to our left-hand side. Thurston 92 for 2 in the 21st over here, Northants.
Showed some very good intent here, Charlie Thurston, against the spinners. Come out very positively indeed.
Yazir steps in again, and again Thurston is square driving from the off stump, this time straight to the sweeper out on the cover boundary, away to our left-hand side, and the over comes to an end with a single. So Thurston up and running, and seemingly going quite well. It's got 18, Cobb's on 43, and Northants are 93 for 2, having lost Levy for a golden duck, Curran for 23, but also Vasconcelos retiring hurt for 1, struck by a very sharp bumper from Mohamed Hasnain, who's also struck Thurston, but because he was struck on the front of the helmet, it was, I suppose, easier to ride, whereas Vasconcelos struck on the side of the helmet, where the helmet's closer to the head. It was a bit more painful, and Vasconcelos leaving the ground. So watch this space on that one, with Wednesday's One Day Cup match coming up against Yorkshire here. It's a 1 o'clock start. I'll be back here for that one, but won't be set while we are here on the television gantry, because it is live on TV. We'll be shunted off down to our left-hand side on Wednesday. So Harris to continue for the far end, left arm round, and Thurston going to sweep, gets stuck on the pad. There's a brief cry for LBW. The ball would have drifted down the leg side, and the ball bounces away to backward square leg, and there's no run. Harris once again on the leg stump and swept for 4 this time. It was a poor ball. The bowler knows it. He has his hands in his head with his bobble hat on still, as Thurston sweeps away towards the bank of blue seats now, or was bank of blue seats, I beg your pardon, to our left. They've been replaced this season. They're now white chairs away to our left-hand side, just round from the Players' Pavilion. Thurston goes to 22, 97 for 2 Northants in the 22nd. And again, a very smart piece of timing by Charlie Thurston. Harris in once more, and trying to drive here Thurston, and one just bounces a little bit and goes away from the right-hander. Thurston plays and misses. Backward point, deep cover, extra cover and a mid-off. And long on deep mid-wicket, and they were considering bringing the backward square leg across, but he stayed put as Harris goes in again, and Thurston back to cut, gets it, past Imam at backward point, and this is running down towards the backward point boundary, will be cut off, and they come back. Well, they did get just a single actually in the end. I thought they were going to come back for a second run, but just one available as Ashraf Ali runs around the fence away to our right hand side in front of the groundsman's shed. 98 for 2, Cobb back on strike at 43. Cobb just gently forward, pushes down the ground, not past extra cover. Decent piece of fielding from Babar Azam in there, quickly to his right hand side, no run. Harris once more from the far end, floats it up on the middle and leg stump, and Cobb gently forward, pushes back towards the bowler. And there is no run to end the 22nd. 98 for 2 Northamptonshire, winning the toss, choosing to bat first, and going, I suppose, okay, Nikesh.
Not too bad at all. Effectively 98 for 3, but Cobb has certainly looked very good indeed for his 43, holding this innings together. And Charlie Thurston, since he's come out, has enjoyed batting against the spinners. He's quickly moved on to 23. A couple of good shots of Yasir Shah, Haris Sahel, Imad Wazeem before that as well. Yasir Shah to continue in his short sleeves. No surprise really, he is from the northwest frontier province on the border with Afghanistan. Very cold winters there in the Khyber Pakhtunkhwa region of Pakistan, so used to the colder weather.
So Northampton's tropical by contrast. Here he comes for his fourth over. Bowls to Thurston with now his maroon helmet, comes forward and just defends back to the bowler's left hand for no run. He's got a sweatband on his right forearm here, Yazir, as he just moves his long on a bit wider to our right. Comes in again, Thurston square driving again. It's got that shot away a couple of times now. Finds the sweeper cover boundary away, drive lavishly, maybe out through extra cover. In the end gets a bit of a thickish inside edge down towards long on. And they jog through for a single, and Cobb immediately calls for a change of gloves. 102 for 2. Cobb, captain for the day, has 45. And that's in the horse box. 104 for 2. And just done in the flight there, it appeared. Pushing keenly forward at Haris Sohail. Chipping a catch back to the bowler. Very, very simple catch. Thurston is gone for 25, and Northants 104 for 3 now.
Soft dismissal there for Charlie Thurston, who again looks very disappointed with himself. This one full and driven straight to the extra cover fielder. No run once again. His left arm spinners in the Pakistan side spent a bit of time with Monty Panesar down at Kent, who was bowling to them in the nets. As Haris Sohail comes into Zabe again, he just works this one towards mid-on, but well fielded, no run. I wonder if Monty passed on any tips to the likes of Haris Sohail and Imad Wasim. This comes in again to Zabe, who just defends this towards mid-wicket, no run again. Monty Panesar, looking to get back into the first-class game, of course, was invited down by Kent to bowl at the Pakistanis in the nets. This time Zabe down the wicket, but just pushes this one straight to extra cover. Another dot ball to finish off the 26th over. Northants now 108 for 3.
Josh Cobb's 50 came in 73 balls with 4 fours and 1 6.
So as you may have heard there, 73 balls for Josh Cobb's 50, 4 boundaries and a 6. Very watchful innings.
They heard, don't worry. There's a mighty PA system here at Wantage Road. Struggle to compete with it, and there is a speaker to our right hand side as well. Which
Sweeper at deep cover, long off, long on, deep mid wicket as well. Shower into Cobb again. This one's shorter and punched off the back foot through the cover region out to the sweeper for a single. Mohammed Hasnain with his woolly hat still on. So slip in place for Saif Zabe as Yasir Shah comes in. This one full and driven uppishly down towards long on for a single.
Yeah, big cry of catch there. Just wonder it was straight off the bat in the air.
Initially looked like a bump ball.
Yeah.
They were interested, the Pakistanis. Zabe off the mark with that single. Cobb back on strike. Here comes Shah. Full and just driven down towards long on for another single. Mohamed Amir back on the field. Put his feet up for a brief time after his spell of bowling earlier on. Shah into Zabe this time, who drives straight back to him, and a good catch down to his left, diving away there Yasir, and he's got his man. That was punched powerfully back to him, down towards long on, but Yasir Shah diving down towards his left, plucks it out of the air, and that is a 4th wicket for the Pakistanis. Saif Zabe gone for 1, and Northants 111 for 4 now in the 27th over.
Cracking catch, really smart take from Yasir Shah, because it didn't really get that high off the ground. That little punch from Zabe back to the bowler's left hand, threw himself quickly down to his left. It was a very, very smart take. And Zabe, another chance comes and goes for him. And just wonder how long he might have left here at Northants. Has been around the club for a long, long time now. constantly told he's got plenty of potential and still a developing cricketer, but has had his chances, and to really make a big score to make you stand up and think, I think we can work with this fella for the next few years, be around for the rest of the summer, but failing again here today. So in effect 5 down now, Northants, just after the halfway mark, and just beginning to list a bit this innings, isn't it?
Absolutely. Josh Cobb still there, unbeaten on 52, trying his best to hold things together. Pakistani's certainly back in this one. Dot ball to finish off the 27th over then. Northants 111 for 4. Effectively 5 with Vasconcelos having retired hurt after being struck by Mohamed Hasnain.
Very sleepy day in Northampton. Little intensity about this fixture so far already. In stark contrast to the tour match here last year, it was a proper first-class game between Pakistan and Northants, and both teams had very strong 11s out. Shortly before the Pakistanis went to play Ireland in the inaugural Test match before the series against England, it was a really good fixture.
Haris Sahel to continue. Josh Cobb, who just gets this one straight to mid-on, no run. Interesting you say 11 aside, quite rare we see that from touring sides nowadays. Normally have 13 or 14. Sahel this time shorter to Cobb, who slaps this straight to extra cover, no run. That's probably part of the reason why Pakistan have been pretty successful in the last couple of tours of England, have competed in the Test matches. This one down the leg side, it's going to be signalled wide, another extra onto the total. Once again onto the pads, and slight thought of an appeal for an LBW. He may have got an inside edge onto that one though, Josh Cobb. Whereas this time outside the off stump and defended straight back to him by Cobb. Shorter and just punched through the covers by Cobb, out to the sweeper on the offside. They jog through for a single to bring Holland back onto strike. To the 28th over, Northants 113 for 4. Sahel into Holland this time, who drives this off the back foot down towards long on for a single. And that is the end of the 28th over. Northants 114 for 4. Holland off the mark with that single. Cobb at the other end on 53. If you're just joining us, good afternoon. This is me, Nikesh Shrigani, alongside Alex Winter. The commentary on Pakistan's second tour match on their tour of England. 50 over contest here against Northants. In fact, Imad Wazim, Mohamed Amir is at long off as Shah comes in to Cobb this time, short and outside the off stump, and guided beautifully down towards the third man boundary for 4 runs. Very well played there by Josh Cobb, just rocking onto the back foot, slightly shorter from Yasir Shah, and just outside the off stump. Cobb picking out the gap beautifully. Another boundary for Josh Cobb, who moves on to 57.
I think you were a little generous there, Nikesh. It looked like a bit of a thickish outside edge. He was trying to steer it away, but it flashed away. Fine of short third man. Ooze and arse on the bowler.
Again guided down towards third man, but straight to the fielder inside the circle, and Cobb sent back by Holland for a single there. From Yasir Shah, just outside the off stump. Cobb picking out the gap beautifully. Another boundary for Josh Cobb, who moves on to 57.
A little generous there.
Josh Cobb again, this time down the leg side, signalled wide. Just straying with his line there, Yasir Shah, looking for a little bit of extra turn. Hasn't been much for the spinners this afternoon. Shah once again, this time off stump line and just pushed into the covers for a single. Cobb on to 58. Josh Cobb captain for the day here for Northants. Holland at the other end on 2, and Holland is on strike. Slip comes into place. Yasir Shah comes in, and this one full and driven by Holland down towards Mohammed Amir, this time at long off for a single. And that is the end of the 29th over. Northants now 122 for 4, and having taken over an hour and 20 minutes for the first 15 overs, the next 14 have taken around 45 minutes.
Just good to see, skipping through them towards lunch here.
That under or
Emmanuel
above
Hack
the
away to our right hand side at third man. He runs in front of the curry bar, collects
events
and then
link here,
sends
you're
in
going to see
terrible
a
throw to
link that
Sarfraz.
says
You can't make an old man
you're going
run
to see a
that
link that
far.
says stream now. You're going to
And talking of England's squads, of course the news this morning that Alex Hales has been removed from all of the England squads for the game against Ireland, the games against Pakistan and the World Cup squad after the off-the-field issues which he's been having. So there is a place up for grabs in the England squads.
Junaid once more from the far end. Sun pokes through again, and Sol just pokes this out towards point. Babar Azam there, away to our right hand side, and there is no run. The story emerged that Alex Hales had failed a second drugs test and was serving a 21-day ban. That's why he hasn't appeared in the one-day cup so far, but removed from the England squad for the World Cup. We're very interesting to see whether he turns up here this time next week for Notts, as Junaid moves in and goes past the outside edge, with Sol pushing forward on flying through to Sarfraz. He goes to his right hand side to take it. 1-4-1 for 5 here, because in theory he's served his 21-day ban. He will become available for Notts once again for their final 3 one-day cup matches. Notts 5 from 5 so far, so not exactly crying out for a player to boost their prospects of qualification, because they're 1 win away from probably securing a home semi-final in the one-day